If you went to a college that ended up shutting down and you're still paying the loans back, and the degree test turned out to be not as useful as you had imagined, we might have good news that could get your loans discharged through 2 programs, and I'll walk you through both. I'm Kat, I'm the founder of LoanSense. We help people simplify their student loan payback, forgiveness journey, and achieve other financial goals so they can live a fuller life. Please consider subscribing. Every subscriber and view helps us get better, sharper, and share this important information with more people. So let's get started with the basics. What is school closure discharge under the federal rules, right? What does it even mean? So the Department of Ed defines the closure as 2 things. Either the date the school stopped providing instruction to some of its students, or the date it stopped providing instruction to all of its students entirely. If you were an online learner, it's the date that the main campus shut down, not just satellite locations. So that's what it means by school closure. Now, what are the requirements to qualify for school closure discharge? I'm going to start with the mainstream definition as well as the caveats for exceptions. First, you qualify if you were enrolled in the school at the time of discharge, or if you were approved for a leave of absence during the date of closing. Third, if you withdrew no more than 180 days before the school closed. But also, if you opted to go to a teach-out program and did not complete it. A teach-out program means you opted to go to another campus that wasn't shutting down at another school that they have an agreement with, but you didn't complete that degree. Now, these requirements qualify you for school closure directly, but if you don't meet these requirements, it does not mean you're automatically out of luck. There's an exception, of course, always to every rule, and that these are the following exceptions. The school lost their accreditation, they're placed on probation by an accrediting agency, they lost their state authorization, or they're being found in court or government agency for breaking the law. And this extends your 180-day window. The only thing is that people who went to this college before January 1st of 1986 do not qualify for school closure discharge. I just want to make that clear. Here's the part that trips up most people is that this process used to be automatic, right? They used to give automatic discharge. The Department of Ed would cancel eligible loans without applying. And this automatic pathway has been eliminated with a very narrow exception. If you didn't accept the teach out and you were eligible without applying about 1 year after the school closure date, the Department of Ed would qualify you based on their own records. But it's not a guarantee and it's not fast. And if you want certainty, definitely consider applying yourself. You can apply at studentaid.gov. LoanSense here can also help as part of our borrower defense process, which I'm going to talk about as well, because we encourage people to apply to both the school closure discharge and borrower defense at the same time. You might be thinking, though, that this isn't common, right? I mean, I went to that school. How do I know if this applies besides knowing the discharge date? What if there's an exception? It's actually, and you might think this isn't common. There's no way I can get my loans discharged, right? But it's more common than you think, because schools have been closing at a very steady pace that is going to increase, especially as time goes on, because the One Big Beautiful Bill limited how much people can borrow for their education. And this is causing a financial crunch for lots of schools. So school closure involves both for-profit as well as nonprofit. And recent closures include the following campuses. There's many campuses, though, and I can't name them all. I will try to list as many as possible in the bottom of this video, or you could just comment your school and we'll let you know if it's on the school closure list. That might help as well, since we likely will not be able to name every school, but it includes St. Andrews, University of North Carolina, Limestone University in South Carolina, Fabon University in Missouri, Northland College in Wisconsin, Eastern Nazareth College in Massachusetts, the King's College in New York, Jamestown Business College in New York, and several more. I mean, there's so many. The list is constantly changing and updated. And so if you subscribe, we will constantly updating the list as it grows. Comment your school, we'll check for you. So here's where it gets really important. Schools closing does not automatically mean fraud, though. It can mean they faced financial troubles. But a lot of for-profit schools closed because they've been under years of investigation for defrauding students on things like job placement rates, They lied about their cost of tuition, their accreditation, transferability of credits, and that's where bar defense to repayment comes in. In your situation, school closure discharge may not be your only path. I want to tell you that you may qualify for bar defense to repayment based on if you have, number one, you went to a school that's most on the list. Even if it's not, you could still apply, but that you have some type of evidence that the school defrauded you, misrepresented information that led you to enroll that just was not true. And I'm not going to go deeply into explaining either of the applications. I just want you to know that at LoanSense, we're an education company. You can apply for a completely free consult to assess your situation. We take limited numbers of free consults every month. And we also take very limited number of applications we help people with because we literally only take strong applicants to get the best results possible. If you're interested, I'm going to link, number one, below the entire bar defense masterclass if you want to learn more yourself and even do the application yourself. But if you're interested in applying your consult, I will end this video linking directly to what happens into our 15-minute free session to assess if you're a strong candidate, exactly what to expect. So you know if you were to consider to apply to a free call, which I will link below the application to the free call. Lastly, either way, you do not have to figure this out alone. You can apply for the free educational session and a loan expert, especially one qualified in bar defense, will walk you through the school closure and bar defense process. We proudly have 4.9 stars on Google, especially for our bar defense work, and we'll walk you step by step, completely for free. Again, if you comment your school below, we'll tell you if it's on the school closure list or bar defense list. And you found this helpful, please subscribe. Every video we make, we get sharper, better, by your comments, your questions. And so if you want to click here for the next video to understand more about our educational session, we can't wait to see you there.